Bottom of the bounce. Okay, we're hitting this. We still don't have an intro because my fault. I haven't painted it yet. It's coming. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and start. I've already explained to you what bottom of the bounce is. You know, we're at the bottom of the bounce, which is where bounce up, right? Came down, we hit the bottom. Now we're going up. So this first one, welcome, is going to be where I'm at, why I feel I'm at the bottom of the bounce. I also realize rising up is not a straight shot. There's going to be some downs and some, because that's how it goes down here, right? Also, want to say, I in no way am saying my life is harder, better, worse, or anything than anybody else's life. It's not a competition. If it is, I don't want to win that competition because I don't want to have the worst life. That's why we're bouncing, right? So I'm going to say things that I think are really hard for me. And you might be thinking, honey, hold my beer. And I fully get that. I fully get that. And I'm going to say some things that might be lighthearted, and you might be like, oh my God, how do you deal? Because that's how life goes. We hear other people's hard and we think, I don't know how they do that. Or we think, really, you're griping about that? Because human nature. So I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not trying to be worse off than anybody. I'm not trying to be better. Nothing. I'm saying we're all here. We're all kind of sitting at the bottom of this bounce. We're sitting on the trampoline together. We're having just our own little time. Okay? So make sure you're taking it like that. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to kind of explain where I'm at right now. Future ones, I'm going to explain how I got here because trust me, we lived the Lemony Snicket, the series of unfortunate events, right? Again, I appreciate if you had harder events or you had easier events. We are not competing. I am simply telling. Um, so where it has landed me, if I met you on the street, I would proudly tell you I'm a portrait photographer. I own a portrait studio. And then I might have some friends that are like, no, tell them the whole thing. I'm a master photographer. I'm a photographic craftsman. I'm a certified professional photographer. I love what I do. I love people. I make fine art. I make printed portraits. My work is hanging on people's walls. My work has been in People magazine. It's been in Forbes magazine. It was on um, Shark Tank. It was, I can tell you all the really cool things. And I have some really cool things. But right at this moment, I am restarting that business. I am basically a startup photographer again with some cool accolades. I am having to start, or I am choosing. I am choosing to start. We're not going to do the having to. I am choosing to begin my business in my town where I live. It is a small town. It is a fast growing town. There are so many opportunities to grow my business here. I don't have a studio anymore. I'm trying to do it in my home. That presents challenges because I do fine art portraits and I need 3,000 lights, maybe not, but I need lighting. I need room. I like dancers. I like musicians and artists, and I want space. I am also very used to having my own space to go create and play in, and I don't have it right now. So, career wise, I'm starting over and feeling like it's not with all my stuff, right? I also have a husband who is experiencing end stage kidney disease for the second time because he's already had a transplant several years ago. And it was like the biggest, best gift of life from his best friend, Brent. Thank you, Brent. Um, Gave him a kidney. The kidney lasted 7 years and then it died, which happens with transplants. You hope they last longer. There are no promises or guarantees. Rich's lasted 7 years and now he's back on dialysis. He's probably sicker this time than he was the first time because it has been such a toll on his body. So he's awaiting a transplant. He is unable to work. Therefore, I am needing to pay the bills. But as we previously discussed, I'm starting a business. Yeah, so there's that weird thing together. So I'm helping take care of him. I am trying to restart a photography business. I am also needing to pay the bills. So I actually took a second job, and I am somebody who's not had a job since I was young, because I owned a DJ company and now I own a portrait company. And so I took a second job. And let me tell you, that could be a podcast on its own, is taking a really creative, artsy brain that's been unleashed for decades and being like, follow the rules and do the things. And when you do them, we're going to listen to you and we're going to tell you what you should have said or how you should have handled it. And it is also a commission job. So, hey, you worked for 11 million years on this one sale and they came in on your day off. So we gave it to the other kid who was here. Um, all those things have happened. I'm not used to that, being a photographer. And it's been really interesting. The job is also an hour away. And my husband's on dialysis 3 days a week, and we're down to one car. The other thing that happened during all of this, we had to declare bankruptcy because there's a lot of medical bills. And also, there's a lawsuit with my old studio. It will be another episode, um, that I was dealing with, where we were like basically suing each other. And there was just all the things, like all the heaviness. So we had to declare bankruptcy. No, he hasn't gotten disability yet. Yes, it's been like 2 years. We've been fighting. We've had the attorneys. We've had the help. Anybody have some suggestion other than that? We'll take it. Get us a disability. It would help. So where we're starting, the bottom of the bounce, where my bottom is a sick husband working a job an hour away that's sales. So there's no lunch hour. I leave by 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't get home until 8:30 or so at night. Um, my husband on dialysis days is driving me to work an hour away, then driving back home, and then driving to dialysis, and then picking me up, and then driving home. So he's in the car for 4 hours a day when that happens. Not the worst. I realize first world problems, but it ain't easy. And it's not easy on him because he's sick. So I'm really, really, really like, I have to get photography happening, because also it still pays more than this job that's taking 12 hours a day. Um, so right now, I realize things are changing quickly in my life, but it's also, I wanted to start this podcast before it kind of started getting better, because I wanted to explain where my bottom was now. It is the sick husband. It is the bankruptcy. It is a studio lawsuit. It is a starting over a business in a small town. Um, my studio was actually in the same town that this job is in, an hour away, because there were more people. It was more diverse. I needed that. I loved that. I still love that. Hopefully, it's coming here and I can infuse my art into this place. I know it can happen. I know it can happen. Um, so we're back here. We're starting the business. We're trying to do it in a living room, which is fine. It's fine. It's just odd because I have a husband here and I'm used to being so creative on my own. If I wanted to do self portraits, I did them. If I wanted to play with lights, I did it. If I wanted to have dead birds in the freezer because I wanted to try a photo shoot with them, I did it. And I could do anything. The creativity was just incredible. And I'm used to that. That is not so easy when you have a husband who's here, although he's very supportive and he's great. There's still a person here. And so I tend to, well, I'll wait, I'll do it later. And then as inspiration does, it hits you and it passes. And by the time you have the time to do it, you don't have that idea anymore, or you don't have that spark of get it done. So I'm still working that out. I am working through all of these things. I am not saying I am at the bottom forever. I'm at the bottom for a minute. These are things I'm working through. The studio, we will have a studio again. I need that. And it's going to be right on the other side of this wall if all goes well. Um, I'll have a studio on my own land. Um, yes, that like the job, the lawsuit, the bankruptcy, the husband. What I want to do is do this podcast until everything's beautiful. He has a new kidney, he's healthy, he's well, he's great. I've built a studio just next door and I'm doing great and I'm doing well and I'm selling painted photographs and artwork and one of a kind things and it's going to be incredible. But right now getting there, I realize a lot of us are in the same boat. It feels like COVID happened, 2020 happened. 2020, I sound like Barbara Walters. Not that that's bad, but 2020 happened. Um, it got hard. Things got hard. Things got expensive. Things got difficult. I know they did for me. 2020 was a great year for me. We had our five foster kids. We had the best time. We just played with kids every day. I wasn't required to go into the studio. I just did because then it was me time and I got to play with the kids and play with me. We played outside. We homeschooled. We 2020, although hard in its own way, it was I took a breath that year and I needed to because starting in 2021, and I'll go through it, not on this one, things got real and it is hit in 2025 with all of it because we fought tooth and nail since 2021 and I'm sick of fighting. So now we're going to talk about it. But I have friends that are going through all the same, we're in the same storm, different boat, right? Same things. Divorces happening, um, jobs changing, um, kids moving out. There's just a lot of change right now, and those things are hard. So I am going to talk to you once a week, and it's going to be my form of therapy. So make sure, like, comment and say the things. Be nice, because here's the thing. I see on internet that people are mean. So I'm acknowledging what you're going to say that's mean. I know I've gained a ton of weight. It's part of the hard. I'm going to get back in shape. My teeth are all messed up now. They didn't used to be, but I'm going to get them fixed. I don't know why they are. I got old and they got ugly. I don't know. So don't make fun of my teeth. Don't make fun of my fat. Um, I don't know. What else would you make fun of? Don't do that. We're not doing that here. We're going to be helpful. We're going to be kind. We're going to help each other out. If there's something we can put out there that, or if you have an idea that helps, that's great. Um, we're going to help each other out. We're going to laugh through this. I'm really funny. You haven't heard it yet, but I'm funny. Um, we're going to have a great time. And once a week, we're going to talk about all the hard crap and all the crap that we're going through. And I can't promise you that I'm not going to have somebody on this podcast because I just might, because I have the coolest friends ever on the face of the planet. That part's not hard to a degree. We're going to talk about that too at some point. Because friends are different when you have a sick husband and when you're going through hard things. Um, so I'm excited. I'm actually really, really excited. But I did want to start out letting you know that's where we're starting. The bottom of the bounce. We are starting with a sick husband, a startup business, a hard second job that is too many hours and too far away and frustrating, and a studio that's now my living room. And what did I mention? Bankruptcy, sick husband, studio and living room, hard second job. Um, bills, everything's expensive. Everything's expensive. Why is coffee, like, not real coffee like you go to a coffee shop, but just like Maxwell House or Folgers or something in the grocery store? Why is it so expensive? Why is toilet paper expensive? Whatever it is, we're all living it. um all of those things, that's my bottom right now. I don't want it to get worse. Can any of those things get worse? Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have a living room, I couldn't do anything. Yes, my husband could be sicker. He spends a lot of time in the hospital, but knock on wood, he's done pretty good for the past couple months. Um, yeah, it could get worse. Yeah, I could, any part of what I'm complaining about could get worse. I understand that fully. But these things, this experience feels like part of the bottom. And I know some of it'll get worse and some of it's going to get better. But right now, you know where I'm at. So you're going to have to tell me like where your bottom is. What is your bottom? Have you experienced these things, these things too? I don't know. I want to know. I want to hear all your things. All right. So this one's kind of short. I realize it's not like a huge, huge podcast, but I don't feel like there's a ton more I need to say right now. I think you understand where the bottom of my bounce is right now. And in the next one, will tell you how I got here. Like, you kind of have some ideas, but oh, hold my beer. You ain't heard nothing yet. All those things. So stay here. Tell your friends about this. We're about to have fun. We're about to be our own little tribe, right? Our own tribe. Mwah! Love you guys. Stay tuned. I'll be back. And I'm not editing, so I'm just hitting stop right now. Like, little microphone. I'm hitting stop. Love you guys. Love you.